What's going on, everybody? Boy, check it out. Look behind me. It's kind of a dreary, rainy day today up here in Tennessee. Most of y'all know about 5 months ago we purchased a house and relocated up here to Tennessee. Um, been pretty smooth transition so far with the move and everything. But unfortunately, we actually bought this house sight unseen. Um, so when we finally got up here to do the closing on the house and got in the house, I kind of started seeing some surprises that I needed to get accomplished and done in the house that kind of wasn't expecting. Um, Nothing major, everything's fixable, but kind of some. Anyway, let's put it this way: I wasn't expecting some of the stuff that I had to actually end up doing, and that's kind of to be expected, buying a house without being able to walk through and see it first. So anyway, one of the main things that when I was on the phone with a real estate agent, I kind of stressed to her, and I told her this was kind of going to be a breaking point of the purchase or not, was the garage, which was going to be my boat garage. Um, uh, when we got up here, the first thing I noticed was the measurements I had the real estate company take kind of was off by about 2 feet. So my boat didn't fit in the garage. So I started looking kind of to see what I was going to have to do to fix the issue. One or two things I could have done. Took both garage doors off the front of the garage and extended the garage door out. That would have required a lot more work, a lot more labor. I would have actually had to have somebody come in and do that. I wouldn't have been capable of extending the garage out. It's a structural barren wall, the whole 9 yards. So anyway, the other option was taking the back wall of the garage out and boxing it back to make room for the boat motor to go into basically the room that's on the other side of where the garage is. So anyway, I want to show everybody kind of, this is one of the things I've been having to do since we got here, and this is what I had to do to actually make my boat fit in the garage. So y'all come on in the garage and take a walk in here with me, and I'm gonna kind of give you an idea of what I done to make the boat fit. As we walk in, I want to show everybody one thing first. If you have power poles on your boat and you do a lot of drift fishing or drifting, you gotta go to Power Pole's website. Check out what's called the drift paddle. The drift paddle, guys, is an alternative to what everybody knows as a drift sock or a windsock. They mount right to your power poles. They will eliminate you from having the hassle, the time, the effort of tossing a drift sock out the back of the boat. Every time you get ready to move, you have to pull the drift sock in. You get water all over the carpet, all over the deck of your boat. When you stop and get ready to make another drift, you have to throw the drift sock back out. The power pole drift paddles, guys, they are a must-have if you do a lot of drift fishing. And never have to basically drop your power poles. They have an adjustment where you could actually turn them sideways. You could actually angle them to angle the drift you're going to be taking, more so like a rudder would. When you get ready to make a run from point A to point B, basically the power pole or the drift paddles just pivot front to back. So you could run with them on the power poles, never have to take them down. So check them out at Power Pole's website, guys. A must-have if you eliminate that windsock or that drift sock. So much easier, so much less effort to use them. Got to check them out if you do a lot of drift fishing with power poles. All right, we're walking right back through here, guys. This here is what I actually had to do. Of course, the existing wall, when we first got in the house, this here was the existing wall. Went straight across. It was drywall, a drywall that was up here. So basically what I had to do, I had to pull the drywall off. I ended up having to remove 5 studs that basically was down here, part of the original wall. removed the 5 studs, a little bit of electrical work. That there was a Romex cable running through the 5 studs over to this electrical box here. I ended up having to take that electrical wire out of the studs as I pulled the studs out and reroute it up and over and then back down to that electrical box and put another junction box in there. But anyway, I basically made a box back in the wall where when I back my boat in, the outboard's basically going to come into this room. Now, behind here basically was going to be wasted space, and I don't like a lot of wasted space. Of course, you know, I had some wasted space, you know, behind this, but I don't like wasted space, so I utilized some of the space by boxing this in, putting a shelf here. That way I could keep my oil, you know, my Optimax oil, a little extra space for some cleaning products, stuff like that, everything that I have to use for the boat. Especially the oil is back here where the motor is. I could just grab a gallon of oil, put it in, I'm done. So anyway, that's that. But anyway, and of course, you know, I pulled the drywall all the way over to the other side of the door, as you can see, because the drywall, originally I cut it off right at the last stud here over, but of course the drywall, 1/2 inch thick. I didn't want to go back with drywall. I figured it's going to be easier to, and probably the same money-wise, to go ahead and just buy a few sheets of this white panel board and replace the drywall with a white panel board. Don't have to paint it, it's already finished. But I couldn't butt it up to the drywall because 1/2 inch compared to an 1/8 inch thick of the panel board, so I had to remove all the drywall all the way across and redo this whole wall. Let's take a walk on the inside and I'll show you what the back side of that wall looks like. Of course, it's a little bit dark in the hallway here. I have the electric off to the hallway because I have to replace a couple of switches, had shorts in it for the hallway lights. But anyway, we're walking in here. Of course, this is what I call my alternative sports room, being racing, baseball, football, everything but fishing's in this room. But anyway, this here is the back side of that box that I had to cut out for the motor to go in. So of course I finished it with the brown panel to kind of, you know, inside the house a little bit more decor. That right up there was an air conditioning ductwork. I could not remove that. I had to leave that there, so I kind of had to box everything around the air conditioning ductwork. That had to stay. So anyway, that's why the top of the box that I cut out for the motor on the other side is actually that high versus going all the way up to the ceiling. I had the ductwork that was actually going through. I couldn't remove that. That had to stay. I couldn't relocate that ductwork. But anyway, this is the wall. This is on the back side of the garage where the boat motor is going to be. Boat motor is going to be about 6 inches right on the other side of this wall when I back the boat in. So that's that. And we'll walk back out here in the garage, guys. And that's kind of what I've been having to deal with here since we got in the house. Seems like every time I see the light at the end of the tunnel, something else kind of comes up, and I find something else needs to be done. That's about a wrap on this video, guys. I want to thank everybody for watching. On January 27th, I'm actually going to be heading back down to my old stomping grounds in Lake Placid. I'm going to be fishing on Lake Placid, Lake Estepoga. I'm going to try to get down to Lake Okeechobee a couple times. We're going to be doing a lot of filming between Placid and Estepoga as well. If you're on the water and you see my boat out there, make sure to come over, say hi. You know, I have a lot of friends down there, created a lot of friends through the years, and I miss everybody, miss talking to everybody, miss seeing everybody. You know, now that I'm up here in Tennessee, but I hope to see you when I'm down there. But anyway, looking forward to that. I'm probably going to be down there through around February 13th, 14th. As the word kind of got out that I was going to be down there for a few weeks, started getting people messaging me asking me if I was going to be doing any guiding while I was down there. Well, actually, I got 3 or 4 trips booked towards the first or the second week in February before I come back. I still have a couple open dates that I could still do some trips. So if anybody's interested in booking a trip while I'm down there, message me, call me, look me up. I'll be happy to make it happen. So anyway, guys, for now, tight lines. It's still raining out here, so I will see everybody on the water. Tight lines, guys. I'm getting in worse dry.